What's up, guys? Rodrigo here. Welcome back to one more video. Today, a very special day because we have a very special guest, Natushi. How are you doing today?
I am great. How are you?
I'm doing great as well. It is very good to have you here with us today. I know you have some very solid technical analysis, and I'm very excited to show it to my community.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, today I'm going to talk about USDT and BTC because I like to look at these pairs when I decide to take a trade because they're correlating against each other. So USDT is just another confirmation that I have before I'm placing an order.
Absolutely. So let's go for it.
So
You can share your screen.
Yes. 1 second. So first of all, I'm looking at USDT. We are starting off with the weekly chart. We have the last high at 8.90%. And as you see, I've also dragged a Fibonacci at this point from the last high low that we have down here at, let me see, around 3.8% up to the top that we have at 9.50%. And what the market on USDT has been doing, we've been having this 50% as a support at 6.57%. So we've been holding this support. Obviously, we can see that we are inside a triangle formation. The market is just going sideways here. And we are obviously waiting for the market to either break above the resistance trend line, or if we'll see the market drop down once again to test the 50 or drop down to the 61.8%. So going down to the lower time frames on USDT, looking at the daily, you can see that we at this time is consolidating between 7.45% and 7%. We saw how the market gave us a fake out from this level. Market climbed itself up to the resistance once again. So what we're waiting for the market to do long term is obviously either breaking above the resistance to potentially retest the previous trend line, or we're waiting for the market to break the support and continue down and still test the 50 and the 61.8%. So when we understand that we are in a sideways market on USDT, it's easier for me then to go to the BTC charts, which we are going to do now. And we're going to start off with the weekly chart too, so you can just see what's going on. And we've been talking about this before, Rodrigo, a couple of times, and we've been having a lower high level on the higher time frames on BTC. So even if we see the market being in a uptrend right now, overall, as long as we're not breaking above 61.8%, we are still long-term now in a downtrend. We're just looking at the pullback right now that we have. If this will be the last test of the Fibonacci level, we don't know that yet, because when we are breaking it down to the lower time frames, we are still creating higher highs and higher lows. So we are in a uptrend on the daily and the weekly chart, but on the higher time frames perspective, we are still in a downtrend. So just looking at the lower time frames now, on the daily, we did break the support level at 29,865. And we are also, I'm just going to jump in between here now. On the monthly chart, what I did was that I took this white line around, what is that level? 29,230. And we are testing this previous resistance at this time. So you see the market breaking above this previous resistance. We tested the 50%. And if this is a fake out, which we know that we have a lot of them, we will see the market break down once more. So it kind of makes sense if the market will drop down to the 50 and the 61.8% when we are doing this. Oh my God, the sun is here shining on me. I have to close the windows because I'm getting blind if not. Oh, sorry guys, just like this. So when you're looking on this white line that I have on the lower time frames, you can see how perfectly the market started to consolidate around this area. And that is because this is the previous resistance that we have on the monthly chart. Now, because that we did break below the previous support, as we all know, previous support just might turn into a new resistance. So if the market does pull back up to around 28,850, we want to see if this is going to be a retest for the market to potentially continue down. And I've been talking about this higher low level for such a long time, but if this will be the next drop that we have for BTC, we just might drop down to 28,150 or potentially 27,380. So that is the bearish scenario that I have for Bitcoin. And when we're also looking at USDT, we are going in a sideways market, which we're also doing right now on BTC. So they're both going sideways. We're waiting for the market to retest or break certain levels. But if the market then would potentially break above the support once again and create it as a new support, and these just might be the fake out that we did have to the downside, it can actually take us back up and continue with the higher highs and higher lows up to the 61.8% that I spoke about. And around this level, if now we see the bullish momentum playing out, this will most likely be where you still see the market drop down before it either decides to continue down for lower targets, or if we're just going to continue with the higher highs and higher lows here and break to the upside. But that is something that's going to happen in the future. So we cannot talk so much. We don't know if that's going to happen, obviously, yet. But the short term is that we'll either see the retest of the previous support to drop down to the higher low level. And if this will be the higher low level, we will see how the market starts to create higher highs and higher lows once again. And that can also take us back up to the 61.8%. Now, if we are failing to have this as a higher low, we are still using the previous support trend line as a guidance. If the market will break below it, see the potential retest, also testing this resistance and continue down. So I have a couple of scenarios that can obviously play out. On the lower time frames on the 4-hourly chart, we will see before on the weekly what's going to happen. So if we see a lot of bullish momentum breaking above, then most likely we will have higher time frame, higher targets being tested, potentially the Fibonacci levels that I spoke about. Or if this is going to be where we just see the reaction, retest, and then see the market continue to drop. So we are at this time going sideways. I'm waiting for the market to give me some momentum to see what levels we are testing, because at this time, I'm not trading it, because in a sideways market, as you see that we are in right here, we can just still continue to bounce in between these levels. So just on USDT, we're waiting for the sideways to be broken, and the same thing on BTC. We need to see the sideways to be broken, or if the market's going to give us the momentum down, or if more consolidation is going to happen. So I don't really like how the market is looking right now, but with patience, this is just part of the game. Obviously, we need to be patient enough to wait for the market to retest these levels to give us the confirmation if we're going in a trade or not. Of course, we can go down to the lower time frames, 30, 15, 5 minutes also, to take trades, because we can take trades on multiple time frames, but this is the overall that I see on BTC at this time.
Absolutely amazing. I have actually almost the same ideas that you are having right now, as we just made a video, right, talking about it. And what do you think, on your personal opinion, it is the most probable scenario to break this little consolidation to the upside or to the downside?
So what I do when try to figure that out, I'm always looking at the higher time frames candlestick. And because that we have the rejections from the 50% Fibonacci, which is a very strong zone the market is actually testing, it's hard for the market to break above these levels. It usually tests it first, and then we have a pretty strong drop from it. So I would not be surprised if we see the market actually drop down to test the 50 and the 61.8% once again, if we are failing to retest this previous resistance. But we can see we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 dojis that is giving us exhaustions around the 50%, and then we start to have a lot of bearish momentum on the weekly chart. So looking at the weekly, we have pretty strong candlesticks that shows us that potentially I would not be surprised if we see the market have another drop down. But that is just my opinion by looking at this right now. But I need more candlesticks to give me that confirmation.
Yeah, we need to wait some more time, right? See how the price is going to react before we take some decisions.
Yes, exactly.
Really great analysis. Thank you, Natosha, for being here. Guys, don't forget, of course, to go to her channel. I will link her channel here on the description of this video, also on the title of this video. So just click right there right now. Go watch her video. She's a very good technical analyst and trader. So go there and show some love to her.
Yes, I love me. Please. Yeah, that I'm waiting. I'm excited to see your community on my channel too, obviously. So thank you so much, Rodrigo, for letting me on your YouTube channel once again.
Absolutely. We see each other soon, right?
Yes, we do.
Bye-bye. Thank you once more.